Have you ever come across a group of people, a team, whatever? Clearly a group of people with brilliant minds, great educations behind them, and yet still somehow they weren't really cracking it. It wasn't really working. They weren't achieving their full potential or what they were actually supposed to achieve as a group. It just wasn't happening. And it wasn't a lack of KPIs, I'm sure. So what was it? What is it that prevents these individuals from actually delivering their absolute best output, the high performance, if you like? Well, it's not lack of skills, it's a lack of ability to collaborate. They need to get better at working with each other. And it's really becoming an increasingly important challenge across so many organizations. The more complex the world gets, the more this is something we need to address. Amy Edmondson has already mentioned this in her book. Today's employees at all levels spend 50% time more collaborating than they did 20 years ago. Hiring talented individuals is not enough. They have to be able to work together. Because as the Austrian psychotherapist Alfred Adler already said many years ago, all problems are interpersonal relationship problems. When there is a lack of collaboration, then we see silos forming, not invented here syndrome, not sharing resources, hiding things from each other, trying to get credit for stuff, etc., etc. We see this tug of war, and all of this contributes to what I call cracks in the foundation. We start out with all these great ideas, how we're going to build this, the culture we want to have, and when we're not working well together, then that beautiful culture starts cracking and it breaks. And it's no longer a lovely, beautiful culture. It's toxic. It ends up becoming toxic. And so at the end of the day, we get just more friction than results. That's the bottom line. So I've been watching this for a while and I've been thinking a lot about it and saying, so what is it? What do we do about this? How can we improve this situation, which seems to be epidemic almost? And so I've created what I call a learning journey, and I call it Plays Well with Others. We need people who play well with each other, because people who play well with each other, they share, they cooperate, they collaborate effectively, they are team players, they can communicate, and they resolve conflicts before they get sort of toxic and all that nasty stuff. And at the end of the day, all of this builds trust, and it promotes a positive working environment where we all thrive and that is really engaging. And that's what it's all about. So what I'm proposing is that you need to give your managers the tools, the frameworks, the practices that will help them navigate the complexity, help them understand what effective collaboration really means. And at the end of the day, this will also provide them with a sort of self-reflective understanding of their own personal leadership styles and strengths. And I propose to do this in the following format. I've created a number of self-study videos in 4 modules that are inspiring and that set the foundation for what this is all about. I have created a number of individual exercises and reflections for people to do to try and digest the material and think a little bit more about it. You know, without reflection, there isn't much learning at the end of the day. And I'm proposing to do some webinars with the whole group, full cohort webinars. And there's also the option of adding coaching into this, either coaching in small groups and triads, which is one of my favorite ways of really learning from each other, or just one-to-one coaching. And the idea here is a little bit we can mix and match. We can put this together in various ways, depending on the size of the group, the people involved, whether it's from different companies or from the same company. It's all sorts of possibilities of combining these 4 elements in different ways with each other. The program curriculum, what are we going to cover, is basically divided into 4 classic modules. There's a why. Why is it really important that we get better at playing well with each other? What is the case for that? Module 2, it all starts with you. And how can you become more aware of your own style and what it is that you do and not do, and this notion that we don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we are, and we need to understand what that really means. Module 3, once we've got the basics right, then we can start thinking about tools and practices that can help us collaborate more effectively with the others and understanding them and working with them. And then finally, we need to close the knowing-doing gap and not just have sort of encapsulated new brilliant knowledge, but we actually need to talk about So what is it that we actually do in our day-to-day work that would put these practices and ideas into life and into action? So that's it. I've detailed this program a lot more on my website, mikehonan.com, plays well with others. You can find it there if you want to go into the detail. So how does that sound? Interesting? Intriguing? Do you see anybody around you that might actually benefit from this? Do you have a team? Do you have an individual manager here or there? Who's in your surroundings do you think would benefit from becoming an even better team player? And if you have somebody in mind, please drop me a line, contact me. You can find me either on this website that I've created just for that purpose, mikehonan.com, tell me more, or even simpler, if you like, you can go to LinkedIn, to my profile there, and send me a personal message. Then I will be launching this learning journey in September. And if you could see yourself or your team members or a group or whatever participating in that, then please let me know. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.